Hey y'all, I am Nisha, and this is my ASMR channel. And in today's video, let's get into Housewives. So, this is our weekly Housewives catch up. So, Real Housewives of Potomac, the taglines are in. Let's read through these taglines. They just got posted on E! News a few days ago. So, I will go through taglines for all the Real Housewives of Potomac housewives and give you my overall opinion on them. Very first, Miss Giselle Bryant. Her tagline is, "When the nest is empty, it's time for naked, grown, and sexy." Giselle, Giselle, Giselle. I like Giselle because Giselle is a villain, and every season needs a villain. And yeah, that's my green-eyed bandit over there. Overall, people don't like Giselle. People hate Giselle. They think like she's nasty and so rude. And I was one of those people until I realized like she's a necessary evil on the show. She is. Every season needs a villain. And like Giselle, like Kenya from Real Housewives of Atlanta, is just so overly ready to be the villain. Literally. Moving on. Our next housewife is Dr. Wendy Osefo. And her tagline is, "I put the high in higher education." Okay, so a kick to Happy Eddie, her husband's medicinal marijuana brand, and then Miss 3 Degree Wendy in her higher education. I think it's cute. But like, Wendy girl, are you okay? I really like Wendy. Dr. Wendy. I feel like she ate so bad when she said that to Mia. But is Wendy okay? Like, her and her husband were literally just arrested for like insurance fraud. Get it together, Dr. Wendy. Moving on, a new housewife. Her name is Angel Massey. And her tagline is, "Hell have no fury like an angel scorn." And I hope so, Angel. Where we're at right now, Angel is like not standing up for herself good. So maybe that's gonna be the theme. Or maybe she's gonna actually start standing up for herself. Angel is okay. I think she's really, really pretty. I don't know about her personality, y'all. I don't know about Angel. We're gonna have to see. This is just our first season, so Angel has to grow on us a little bit, you know. We'll see. Up next, Ashley Darby, and her tagline is, "This cherry blossom is ready for her second bloom." And of course, that's the start like second bloom party and her being officially divorced and her seeing that as her second blooming in life. So yeah. But Ashley, she said her first blooming was when she got married. And then also when she had her 2 kids. And now this is her second blooming. But Ashley, I think that's like more than 2 blooms. Literally, like getting married. Okay, you can say that's your first bloom. And then you had 1 kid. And that happened way later into your marriage. Like, you didn't have a kid right away, just a couple years later. And then you had a second kid. I guess that whole package was Giselle's little messy partner. And Giselle needed a new Robin. Batman needed a new Robin. So Ashley Darby stepped up. And you know, Giselle's gonna be the villain. She's gonna throw it out there. And Ashley's gonna come in and she's gonna stir the pot. She loves to stir the pot. She's so messy. But I love that for Ashley, honestly. I do. Next housewife, Kiana Stewart. And Key is not married. But here we go. Her tagline is, beauty is my business, but getting you together is my specialty. I agree with that. I think Key gets the girls together. In general, I like Key. I liked her a lot last season. She's starting to rub me. She's starting to be a little shaky this season. I don't know about her. We have to see. But overall, I still support Key. Next housewife, Tia Glover. And her tagline is, you can only clutch pearls if you have them. And darling, I have loads. And it's very clear, like, she's from the UK. She has lived a very posh life. And I'm here for it. I'm here for the posh life. I love it. I embrace it. I think Real Housewives of Potomac was missing that, like, poshness. There was no housewife that really exuded, like, money. But Tia does. I think she's a good addition. I think this is good for the housewives. Her and Stacey, they're posh. They're classic. They're regal. We need that. And speaking of Miss Stacey, our last housewife is Stacey Rush. And her tagline is, some people believe the lies, but still I rise. Period. Period. Stacey, like, I don't know. Last week, Stacey had me a little shaky. I didn't know who to believe. I didn't know who to believe or what to believe. But just when I doubted Stacey, she reminded me why I liked her in the first place. So, this last episode of Real Housewives of Potomac, overall, Wendy and Kiana have this little beef going on. I think Key being a little weird. I think she is sadly a little insecure about Wendy. And she doesn't want to admit that. But she keeps trying to stack herself up against Wendy. And Wendy is like, is this a competition? Wendy's a little confused. And then I think Wendy is perceiving it as a competition. So as a defense mechanism, Wendy starts paying dust to Kiana. Like, she doesn't care what she got going on. She's paying her dust. Yeah. So, Key said, like, yeah, that's what ended up. Her and Wendy ended up, like, flipping each other off after the end of that conversation and, like, being like, okay, we're not friends, but we don't have to be enemies. Honestly, them flipping each other off it was genuinely funny. It was a very cute scene. I love that for Housewives. So yeah. Moving on. Once again, back to Kiana. She said she didn't say that she chin-checked Angel, but she definitely said that she chin-checked Angel. And then, you know, the Real Housewives producers are messy. So they insert the clip of her saying she chin-checked her. So, I don't know about that. After that, Angel starts like claiming, oh, it's gonna be a problem. This is gonna be a big problem when she's talking to like Giselle and them. But when everyone gets to the group together, she kind of tucks her tail. She can say whatever she want to say, but she was talking like it would be a problem if that's what Key said. And then Key said, oh, I did say that, but I apologize. And Angel wasn't really standing on business. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's the only thing really exciting about Real Housewives of Potomac. It's still bubbling, it's still growing. But moving on to what we're really here for, the real best Housewives franchise out right now. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, y'all. So, starting off, I wanted to be publicly known that I hate, capital HATE, all of the scenes with Bronwyn and her husband. I don't need to see it no more. Bravo needs to cut them out. They're terrible to watch. Literally, her husband does not care. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to have this conversation. It's painful. It's painful for me to see. Like, literally. He was not trying to hear anything about the girls or the psychic or her mom or nothing. Oh no. Todd. So she even gets upset because like she stays like she's trying to have ice cream and tell her husband like a cute, funny, interesting story. But he doesn't care and he has no emotion about it. I hate this for Bronwyn, actually. It's very awkward. Moving on. So, Mary and Angie K, they're still kind of beefed up. I hope that Mary can forgive Angie. Mary very strict. Mary is strict. She is a strict friend and she run a tight ship. Period, Mary. But still, forgive Angie. I feel like Angie deserves to be forgiven. I think it was funny how Mary was talking about Angie's laughing at her farts and like poking fun at her farts. And then they rolled the footage of like Angie constantly making jokes about Mary farting or having gas. I don't know. Child, Mary needs to go ahead and forgive Angie K. Okay. So, moving on to like Lisa and Heather, Lisa and her husband, Lisa in general. Usually, I really like Lisa, but like literally, this season, like Lisa's blowing me. She's not like, I don't know. Everybody is telling Lisa that she is wrong, but she's not hearing it. She's not hearing it from her husband. She's not hearing it from Heather. She's not hearing it from the Watch What Happens Live studio audience. She's not listening to Andy Cohen. She's not listening to nobody, okay? Yeah. So Heather has to let her know, like, nobody rides hard for her because everybody has been hurt by her and she does malicious things to people and she claims that, like, she's never wrong. So because of that, nobody gonna ride for her. You know? And Lisa just, she resorts to crying as she always does. Oh, apparently, when Lisa said soup, man, she meant soup to man. And there is no soup man. But who's the soup to man? I'm still curious. Nosy people would like to know. Okay. So, overall, I'm not liking Lisa right now. Yikes, because I usually like Lisa. Even through all of her little stuff, it's just like the constant lack of accountability. Yeah, Lisa girl, yeah. And Lisa keeps saying like everyone's coming for her. But then they show the montage of her being mean to Heather, calling her a good time girl, and saying Heather wouldn't understand, and Heather started with her. But Heather didn't start with her. So Heather then admits that like Angie wasn't wrong, and everyone felt bullied by Lisa. I feel like she could have said this at the party in support of Angie, but she didn't want to support Angie because Heather is a little messy, little boots, and she kind of wanted the drama to still be the drama. So she didn't like shut it down and be like, hey Lisa, like, yeah, Angie's not just talking cash money BS. But regardless, I like that she did tell Lisa to her face, like, hey, you've been tripping lately. You gotta tone it down, because somebody needs to tell Lisa. Yeah. So, Brittany and her daughter, very, very awkward conversation. And I feel so bad for Brittany's daughter. And it's honestly crazy and ridiculous how Brittany is acting and not being there for her children. That's something I couldn't fathom. Her daughter says that too. She says, I try putting myself in your shoes and I would never do what you did. I'd have to agree with the daughter. So, I don't know. We know that Brittany tells us right after her first marriage, which was with her daughter's father. After that ended, she immediately got remarried and was focused on being a good wife and kept saying she would get back to being a good mother. Brittany is so airheaded. Oh my god. So she sent her kids to go live with their dad. And I guess that like eventually she was supposed to get the kids back. But the kids are grown. They're 19. So this whole time she never figured it out. Her daughter even goes on to say like the last time they tried to talk, Jared came over and then Brittany and Jared just started making out in front of the daughter, and the daughter said that was so uncomfortable. That was so awkward to her. But more than anything, it hurt her feelings because at the drop of a dime, she decided to pay more attention to a man than to her own daughter, who she was trying to reconcile these deeply rooted issues with. So, I think her daughter explained herself beautifully, and I hope that Brittany can like fix this. But yeah, last topic about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is Bronwyn and this identity theft bomb that they dropped at the end of the show. Oh my god, I said these the real criminals of America, ain't it? Like what? What do you mean? Everybody in the Housewives universe is like getting locked up. So Bronwyn kind of states like it was like 10 years ago. She got caught up in something, and that's a sealed, locked case. But that was not today. Okay, Bronwyn, 10 years ago, you was doing a lot of fraud. But you a changed woman. I get it. You know, that's why the case is sealed. Now, I don't know who unsealed it. And then, oh brother, we get another conversation with her husband, and he is just, the only thing he cares about is how it's going to look to the people at his job. It's going to make him look bad at work. And also, Also, why is Bronwyn and her husband always meeting at a coffee shop or at a dinner place? Why are they never in their home? Do they live together? Are they back together? I don't understand this. I'm confused. But it's always like out at a restaurant. Other housewives just film with their husbands in their home. I don't know. Yeah, and then her husband ends it by saying he wouldn't beat on Lisa in a fire. He wouldn't piss on Lisa in a fire. Now, did Lisa make up these rumors? I don't know, but maybe she did. The whole Bronwyn thing at the end kind of confused me. I'm gonna need clarity on that next week for sure.